For Bike of the Year 2016 in our sub £1,500 price category, the bike that came out on top was this Cannondale CAAD12. What may surprise some of you is that in a test that included bikes from £750 to £10,000, is that this bike came out on top overall. So what might surprise some of you even more is that this bike's made of aluminium, and we've been living in a world where carbon has dominated for the last decade or so, and we haven't seen aluminium of this quality and this grade since way back in the 90s. But what we will say is that we think aluminium's back, and it's back in a really big way. We've seen bikes like this has been up against, so from Specialized with their smart wheel technology on the Alley Elites, very, very accomplished, great riding machine. Trek with their ALR Emonda, they've taken the lightweight things they learned from the Emonda Carbon and they've reimagined it in aluminium, and again come up with a fantastic bike. These are bikes that make you forget they're aluminium. You know, they ride just as well as anything else that's out there. At the heart of any great bike is a great frame, and believe us, the CAAD12 is a truly, truly great frame. Cannondale have been probably one of the only brands out there that have continued to develop aluminium right since they were one of the pioneers of using it in the first place. It really, really has come to fruition on this bike. This frame set in a 56 weighs just over a kilo. You put that up against any carbon bike for around the same money, remembering this is 1299, and it's very, very, very competitive on weight. You add in that they've got the carbon fork straight from the Evo, which is only 300 grams, and one of the really neat design ideas that they've brought in onto this one is carrying over the 25.4 diameter seat post, which they debuted on one of their previous bikes of the year, the Synapse, and is also seen on the new Evo. This slimmer diameter seat post allows for a lot more flexibility in it, especially when you're using carbon, which helps with comfort at the back end. And what it also means is when you get a system weight, so if you take the frame, fork, seat post, headset, there aren't very many bikes at triple this price that get down to a kind of chassis system weight that the CAAD12 has. Now, winning the weight game is only one part of the parcel. You know, all of that's immaterial when you're looking on paper. It all really depends on how the bike rides. Now, you get out on this CAAD12 and it is simply brilliant. It's absolutely stunning. It's got such a willingness, such an absolute resolute stiffness through the drivetrain. Every pedal push, this bike just really wants to go forward. It really wants to attack. So the geometry of this CAAD12 is a continuation of everything that Cannondale have learnt over the years and that they've been giving us with the original Evo, with the new Evo, and with all their pro-developed pure race bikes. So on the CAAD12 you're getting this super sharp, super quick, rapid handling bike that, combined with the resolute stiffness in the frame, it just wants to go, it wants to attack. It's like it wants you to go faster all the time, everywhere, up, down, through corners. It's just a bike that makes you want to ride harder, go faster, push yourself that little bit more every single time you get on it. It makes you smile. It's just such an exciting, wonderful thing just to get on and just go. For the money, as you'd expect, the spec is fairly modest, but it does have some really nice little highlights. The 105 drivetrain works just as well as 105 always does. All your shifting's nice and slick, braking's good. Then you look a bit closer and Cannondale have put in their SI chainset. Now this is the forged version of the super high-end hologram chainset, which you'll see on the pro level bikes. If you think that, you know, they've just dropped this chainset on there just to cut a corner so they don't have to spec Shimano, drop a little bit on the money they can make from it, it's worth remembering that this SI chainset with these FSA rings and the standard Spider, so in this guise, it actually comes in lighter than an Ultegra chainset. Because it's purpose built for this bike, it's BB30A, super oversized, super stiff, works fantastically. So what you are getting is a very sensible spec. It's all stuff that's going to work and it's going to do a decent service, but the bike is very modestly priced and the frame set is so good. You could upgrade and upgrade and upgrade this frame to your heart's content, fill it full of superbike bits, fill it full of the best of the best. This frame is still going to live up to whatever you deck it out with, and it will still keep coming back and it will still be a truly brilliant, exciting ride. So in conclusion, this is a bike that I truly, truly love. I've absolutely been blown away from it from the first days that I've ridden it, and I've spent a lot of time on it. Throughout the whole of our test team and all of the bikes that we've tested throughout this Bike of the Year period and all the meetings and all the discussions, all the arguments we've had, the only thing that we unanimously agreed on was just how good this bike is. So there's probably plenty of you out there wondering that Cannondale also offer a disc version of this bike, so why isn't that Bike of the Year? Well, we just felt that in this guise and at this price level, it truly, truly is unbeatable. We've got a disc version in, it's a little bit more money, and again, it's an absolute brilliant machine. It just doesn't offer quite the cost-effective way to high performance that this particular model does.